afternoon, good morning, wherever you're at. This is your barefoot garden country cook out in the garden, and I wanted to show you how my garden's come along. Now, a lot of people will put down to keep weeds out, and we're going to cover weeds today. We'll put down this black carpet. Sorry about the neighborhood, it's kind of busy today. We're trying to beat the rain today. So I had tomato cages over some tomatoes. Not all of them, because some I do like to get, do it the thing naturally. But when I plant my plants, this is, they call this a rock rake. This is some of that black mesh that I used a couple years ago. And when I plant my plants, I purposely put them this distance apart, right here. And that's so, to keep down the weeds, I can go between the plants without disturbing the plants. So with the rock rake, this is very invaluable tool. As you'll see on the ground here, there's a lot of little green leafy weeds popping up. And to get rid of those, truthfully, all you do is take the rock rake. I turn it on its end because I don't have my triangular trowel anymore. I have to get a new one. Someone borrowed it and didn't give it back. So you do like this, and you come across, and it pulls up all those little greeny things. Now you can use a shovel and do it, but this is definitely a workout. I could take my cultivator out here and do it between the plants, but I like the physical labor sometimes. And as you can see, I can go right around these plants without disturbing them while I'm getting rid of the weeds. So once you uproot these are little surface weeds. So they don't have deep root systems. They're kind of shallow. So it's real easy to keep up with them. You don't want it to get, overly infested with these little guys. And you do that, and then you use the same rock rake to smooth it out. You see how easy this is? So I have some physical limitations of some degenerative discs, so working in the garden can be tough. But I'll tell you what saves me with that is I discovered this little thing right here, made by Fever. I got it on, I guess I'm saying that right. I got it on Amazon. The cool thing about it is it holds up to 300 pounds. Gives you a pocket to put your tools in, and you can literally sit on it this way, or take that off, turn it upside down, and now you can get down on your knees. And if you have to get down to dig for some plants or whatever, so you can. And this is cushioned. It's a nice thick cushion on both sides. Solid metal construction. It folds up. So to put this away, the legs do fold up. Let's see if I can remember how to make them fold up. I don't think I can. Let's see. Oh, that's it. You pull this little thing here, and it folds right up. Just like that. Just folds up. So you don't want to leave this out in the weather because the metal parts can rust. But this is a lifesaver if you got back issues. So that's how I keep down my weeds. The other thing is, if you know they're not going to put any more plants in here, I'm always putting plants in my garden. So there's real possibility that where there's gaps, I'm going to put a plant. So I don't put down the mesh, the black mesh blanket stuff. I don't even know what they call it. But what you can do is, if you know this is it, you're not going to put any more, put down some cedar mulch. And the reason why I say cedar mulch, put the cedar mulch around them, does two things. Keeps bugs out that will eat your plants. And not only that, it keeps moisture in for when it does rain. The roots will be able to soak up the water much more readily. I've had an issue with deer in my garden. So I've been trying to think of different fencing ideas. This is the rosemary from, it's been here now, I think 4 or 5 years. This is the only survivor of 8 plants. I had a fungus attack the 8 plants that I had, and this is the survivor of it. And this is what keeps the deer out. Having rosemary around your garden, but you got to keep up with it. If you can keep it trimmed like a little hedge around it, is perfect. That's what I was trying to do. I didn't do such a good job, but I have new rosemary plants that I have put down. The deer don't eat the tomatoes, so the tomatoes are saved. Here's one idea for putting a fence around your garden, and that's this little metal fence over here to the side. It was actually a pen for like pets, and you could make it a square or stretch it all out. I stretched it all out, and to help keep this pushed back from the sidewalk area. This is another kind of metal rake. You can put chicken wire around, but I kind of use what I have. So I have these poles for, stringing plants up to, and I had a piece of old fencing. So what I did was I took 2 4x4 pieces of lumber, treated, and on either side of this metal fence, and then I put these holes up to kind of hold it there. So it may not look all that great, but I know the deer aren't going to be able to get through here to get to my sugar snap peas. That's what I've got on that mound. If you can't put your vining plants on a mound, because that's what they like, because they spread out this way. Except for sugar snap peas, they do climb up. They have little curly feelers that will cling onto this tomato cage, and they will grow up. You can do the same thing with cucumbers. For those of you who like cucumbers, get a tomato cage. Get a big one like this, big round wide one like this. And as your cucumber plants come up, train them to drape on this, and that way all you have to do is pick the cucumbers off of it. They're not laying on the ground like a lot of times will happen, and they'll rot on the ground before you get to them. So cucumbers you can vine up, sugar snap peas. Most of the, when I know I'm going to put a lot of plants in my garden, I don't use as many tomato cages for the tomatoes. As a matter of fact, right here, these 2 tomato cages have cucumber plants below. So I'm anxious to see how these guys do. And hopefully that little 24-inch fence will keep them out, keep the deer out. Another cool tool that you can use when you're doing your garden, like I have a tendency, sometimes I'll get crazy and be working on the weeds, and I'll accidentally step on a plant, and I go, oh, God, great, I just killed a plant. Well, I have some bean plants down here in the foreground, and I'll show you where they are. These are the bean plants, and I took this plastic edging and I put it up in front of it so I don't step on them. And it's worked, because as they get bigger, I see them better. They're not the little tiny baby plants anymore, and so I don't destroy those. Another thing that I have out here is mint. I took one of these galvanized little planter things, poked the holes in the bottom of it for drainage, and I put some of the mint in here behind these irises. The reason being is these will stay tall and lush and green even after the flowers are done. Well, they're just about done now. And the mint does not like direct sunlight. So I'm probably going to have to move these. And that's why I planted more rosemary bushes down. And actually, I'll take you over here and show you where mint loves to live. I guess, hopefully you can see down below, being in front of that cinder block, that was so that you could see it. There's mint. That's some of the mint from the galvanized tub. Mint loves filtered light. It doesn't like to be drowned in water, but it does love filtered light. My great-grandmother used to have a huge bush, and it was full of mint underneath. And last thing in the garden that I did this year was I did blackberry bushes. So, just any berry, anytime you plant a berry bush, you want to plant it in twos. So I've got one, and I've got another one in the corner. They get just enough sun, they don't get singed, and they've got all kinds of blossoms on them. So I'm hoping, probably not this year, usually it's the second year out, that these will actually be full of berries. And I want to make some blackberry jam and show you guys how to make that. It's really easy. Some of my pepper plants doing very well. And the key with a garden is watering it. You want to water it every other day, and sometimes if you don't want your water bill to go up, just water each individual plant with a good half of a watering can. Get the soil good and soaked. Otherwise, you can put one of those sprinklers that goes elliptical sprinklers. It goes back and forth, and let it do it. Set it up for 30 minutes and do that. Especially as it gets hotter, you want to do that about every other day, but do it at sunset. If you do it during the daytime, when the sun's its hottest, you run the risk of singeing your plants, and you don't want to do that. So this is the first of hopefully several videos of my garden, and welcome. And within a few weeks I should show some fruits of my labors. I have my little greenhouse over here. But like I said, the mint here, for right now, because it's not the height of summer, this mint will do very well. That's actually, over here is something that you don't want in your garden, other than those little tiny leafy things. These look like marigold leaf plants, because marigolds have leaves like this, but this is a weed. And you want to yank these bad boys out. That right there, that's a weed. And that goes away. I had some flowers in here that went into shock, didn't do so well, except 2 of them have revived, actually 3, possibly 4. One of them is definitely dead. And anytime you have a plant that has a big, I call it juicy leaf, the deer will try to get to them. And someone gave me this plant. She said it was a kind of rose. It doesn't look like a rose to me, but I'll be interested to see what they turn out to be. Now inside my little greenhouse here, I have something going on in here. Throw that up. These are my baby plants starting. This also comes with that, this little carry tote comes with the bench, which is really cool. But you can get these on Amazon. It's a 5-pack. They're little mini greenhouses. So if you don't have this structure, I put them out here because I don't have any room in the house. And they have a vent on top, which is cool. See how and as you can see, I have, and I labeled these this time, I have beets that are coming up. I got to get those in the garden and figure out how I'm going to put them in there, or where I'm going to put them. This, the little vent, little holes when you first plant them, and you water the peat pots. You have it closed so that the moisture will collect up in here and act like rain, and will rain down on them. And then you open it up because you don't want it to stay too moist. It'll rot them out. So that's the beets. They're coming up in there. I've got other things in there that have not come up yet. Let's see what's going on in this one. This one is taking its time. This is cilantro and lettuce. They don't like real hot heat either. And over here, I have more. I've got, these are beans. These are beans. These are, that looks like cucumbers again. These are all baby tomato plants. Look at this. This is crazy. These started out with, where's the big cover? There it is. They started out with this on top. And this I got at Walmart. Walmart has great garden stuff. And when they get up to where they're almost touching the plastic, that's when you take it off and you just keep them water below. These are going to go in the dirt today. They've got to. And so these little guys, since they're still curled up, coming up, I'm going to put that on there till they get a little taller. Even though this cover didn't come with this one, this was also at Walmart. It's like 12 bucks. You can't beat it. But this batch that I had produced these guys. Now those are cucumber plants. Those are some healthy cucumber plants. I mean, they're ready to be trained up onto a trellis or a tomato cage. This plant was a clipping. I don't know if you know about angel trumpets, but I thought it had died. And in fact, this must be a really healthy one because this part died, but what shot up from below was the new plant. And these, I've got 3 of these that are growing right now, and I can't wait to see what they do. So there you have it for today. That's a tour of my garden, some of the equipment that I use, how to keep on top of the weeds, and hopefully this will inspire you to grow your own garden. So I thank you for watching, and God bless, and happy gardening.